That's a great intro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new podcast called Minds of Mayhem with hosts. I am the host, Rome. I am the one that basically put this together. You can say I'm the Triple H of this thing, basically. But
All
at
right.
the same time, even though Triple H is good by himself, he always had to have his tag team partner. So I will have my guy introduce himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nova Jones here for the Minds of Mayhem. I'm the Rock to his Triple H. Uh, I am the podcast final boss. I don't care. I am Rock's long lost son. I am an actor, musician, and wrestler. Uh, yeah, too many accolades to name, you know.
You just had to add the final boss
I,
thing,
I,
and you
I
just
had
had
listen.
to.
Listen, if you're Triple H, I'm Rock, okay? All right? Have him talk shit about my family, all right?
Oh my God, I'll never forget that damn that Las Vegas
Yeah,
press conference.
yeah, listen, we got,
We got stuff from that press conference that we wasn't expecting.
right.
Speaking of shows, we're gonna run down today is we're gonna talk about WWE in the Triple H era.
Hmm.
Well, technically the Paul Levesque era.
Yep.
Then we gonna give our Mount Rushmores of wrestling. Each of our Mount Rushmores of who we are think is who's the best wrestlers to us in our time.
Hmm.
And then we're going to preview Backlash, which will
Yep.
be happening next Saturday. Well, not well, actually, no, this Saturday coming up on May
Yep.
the 4th,
1 p.m., folks.
1 p.m. Eastern time, because they'll be in
Yep.
France. They'll be in France.
Parlez-vous français? Omelette du fromage.
Shout out to Dexter's Laboratory.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
let's get started with Triple H is now the new face of WWE as the booker, the creator, basically the content, everything.
Yep.
So my thing is, like I said, even though he got that position as we know now, Vince McMahon is going through the stuff he's going through right now with the allegations and everything. He recently sold
Hmm.
all his stocks, so he doesn't have anything now with WWE at all anymore.
At all.
So it's like, So the thing is, like I said, with Triple H now be at the helm, I think that it's gonna work in their favor
Hmm.
because you get to build stars again. You get to build storylines. You get to make new faces that are on the top now. Because
Hmm.
granted, with Vince McMahon's era, we always had the same faces, depending on the eras. Because like I said, between 2001 and '07, we had different faces of champions. We had
Hmm.
stories. We had stuff that was like, we want to get into. Like the times of 2008 to like maybe 2022, it's been up and down depending on who you cheer for, who you like.
Hmm.
Now like I said, now Vince McMahon had some hits and some misses,
Yep.
but it's like, but now him being gone, I think we can get back to being a good product now with the company.
Hmm.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a WWE podcast. This is we talk about all wrestlers. We're gonna talk about AEW as well soon. We're gonna talk about maybe some other stuff, like some indies, possibly TNA. We'll throw it all in there, depending on how we watch it. But the two main companies that we'll probably talk about the most, it will probably be WWE and AEW. And no,
Hmm.
we're not a tribalism podcast. We
Nope.
like to talk. We like both shows. It's not like, granted, we both critique both shows. It's just that I know some people are fans of this stuff. They be like, "Oh, this is not what we want to. This is not good for us. We team AEW or we team WWE." I'm like, who cares? It's wrestling. When wrestling's doing good, everyone's doing good.
Yeah, shut your lips and learn.
Basically, as his pop would say, he's gonna take you on this ride.
Yeah. We're gonna take you on a we're gonna take you on this ride and enjoy what the final boss is gonna give
Yeah. All right, we get it. We get it. Let her rock. We get
you.
it. But let's get back to it. With Triple H, like I said, the era is gonna be great. I think, like I said, with building characters is going to be great.
Hmm.
Champions are going to be even like more story wise. Because, like I say, each title has to have a story, has
Yep.
to have a meaningful. Like for instance, with Gunter having the Intercontinental title, it made that title mean something again.
Hmm.
The U.S. title right now is on Logan Paul. Originally, people was upset about it, but I'm like, it actually works. Logan Paul is a social media person, so it's like with
Hmm.
him at the helm, it works. But
Yeah.
but but that's my 2 cents on him as the era. What are your like thoughts on Triple H in this new era of him running the show?
I mean, what can we say? More creativity first and foremost, and like you were saying, as far as Logan Paul, he's bringing in uh, outsiders who are fans of the business and fans of the product,
Hmm.
and putting more eyes on the WWE. I mean, at first, when we go back and look at guys like Lawrence Taylor and Muhammad Ali and all those guys that came from different, you know, uh,
Spectrums.
yeah, different spectrums to come to the WWE.
Hmm.
It was weird at first, but it gave us an even more broader audience because you see people in the NFL doing WWE mannerisms, all across the board, So it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not upset with it, but I would like to see more of Logan Paul. He is the WWE United States champion. Where you at, Logan? Where you at?
Well, it was reported today that he's gonna be on Raw tomorrow.
Whoa.
Thing is though, it's the draft. Well, we in the draft season, so it's like
Yeah.
he'll probably I think after the sixth, he'll just be on SmackDown. But
Hmm.
his wife is pregnant, so
Yeah.
they're having
Congratulations.
congratulations to
Congratulations.
him. He just had a baby shower today. I think he's having a girl.
Ah. All right.
Yeah, so I agree. Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul be on TV more. But like I said,
Hmm.
with him, with Logan Paul basically being a social media guy, having like the Prime logo in front of the ring, which everybody was against, but it's not really bad.
Yeah, it's
I
a good
mean,
business
granted,
move.
it's different,
Hmm.
but it's like Prime. It's like for him to be the he's the creator of Prime energy drink. I had it before. It's not bad.
Hmm.
It's coconut water, but it's like all the ingredients they make with the juice because I get the fruit punch when it's good. It's not
Okay.
bad. But other than that, it's like with Logan Paul, I think, like I said, with him being a social media guy, like you just said, it brings in a different, wider audience. Because
Hmm.
there's only been like a select few people that took the WWE seriously.
Yeah.
Because Lawrence Taylor, when he fought Baby and Bigelow that year, I mean, it was cool, but it's like he took it somewhat serious because he took a lot of bumps in that ring.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bad Bunny. He took a lot of bumps in the ring.
Bad Bunny. Yes,
And now
absolutely.
we see Logan Paul, who has had great matches. He hasn't had a bad match.
Hmm.
Every match he's been in, granted, the person he's fighting is guiding him,
Hmm.
but it's working though. Like for instance, his best match to me was against Roman.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The frog splash to the table, it was so perfect. It was fun to see him in that light to fight Roman. Cause
Yeah.
it was in Saudi at that too, so it was even cooler
Hmm.
for him to do that. But yeah, but with Triple H doing this whole era situation, I think it's hurt for him. Like I said, it helps out a lot of stars that was in NXT with him, like a DIY, a Ricochet, Andrade. He's back
Andre. Yep.
now.
Yep. Hmm.
It's so many wrestlers that I wish that was still there, but now they're in AEW. Like for instance, Malachi Black, he's in
Oh,
AEW.
yeah.
Keith Lee,
Yes, absolutely.
like a lot of those guys that was over there now that in AEW, I wish was still in WWE because like if Triple H was running it at the time, Malachi Black probably be a world champion multiple times possibly.
The multiple.
Keith Keith Lee will be a world champion for sure.
Hmm.
it's like, don't get me wrong. I mean, it could be a blessing and a curse, but at the same time, it's like, damn, I wish they was here. But who knows? Anything is possible in wrestling today. Not saying
Hmm.
if you, not saying I want you to leave where you at. Like, where you at is good for you. Make your money, make your bread, make your living.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, damn, I wish they was there. But with the era we in now with Triple H, it's great. Like I said, I'm hoping that this era helps Ricochet out a lot. Cause
Yeah.
Ricochet to me is he's so good in the ring. The only issue he has is his mic skills. He can be
And that's
good
about
some
it.
he can be good sometimes. But
Yeah.
sometimes he get lost or he gets overlooked. Cause it's like the
Hmm.
person he's going against sometimes beat him in talking. Cause it's like, damn, what can we do? But
I
other than that, it's like, damn, man. I don't understand it when it comes down to like when Vince was running the show, he didn't push the guys that Triple H is pushing now. Because
right.
you could have had new stars, you could have had new stories. Granted, I know you have your like picks of who you like and who you want to do it with,
Hmm.
or who you want to like to be the face of the company. But at the same time, it's like you gotta get with the times. You can't stay in that old time. Because Vince
Yeah.
McMahon issue was you gotta be strong, you gotta be built and everything. Like that don't make sense in today's wrestling today. I mean, of
Right.
course, it's good to have that good physique in wrestling, but at the same time, it's about how you connect with the fans.
Hmm.
Like I love Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes was never the biggest guy. He was never the most in shape guy. He was
Right.
always that guy that gave you hope, the guy that gave you a feeling. Cause you watch his promos from back in the day. I wish I was born in the '80s when he was wrestling.
My God.
For
My
him to,
God.
cause for him and Ric Flair to have their rivalry, the back and forths, and mind you, Dusty was a booker, so it's like he didn't book himself over.
Hmm.
Dusty is the ultimate booker that will never put himself over. He'll literally
Right.
put other people over. Now, sometimes he'll win, but it's like he won't put like if it's a big match, he'll put the next guy over. Like he put Ric Flair multiple times.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He put over
For sure.
Magnum TA. He put over Magnum TA. He put over a lot of guys. It's like Dusty was like ahead of his time,
Hmm.
which is why I say Triple H should be in that realm too. Because it's like, granted, Triple H is not wrestling anymore. He's done. He said he's like physically done.
Yeah.
Because he had that heart situation. He was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So with him, that like I said, he has a chance to be in that realm of Dusty where it could help make stars.
Hmm.
Because mind you, Dusty did NXT as well too,
Hmm.
and a lot of kids that was in NXT at the time, like like Roman, Seth, Big E, who else? You can say a lot of people that was in NXT at the time. Even LA Knight before he got released, he was in
Right.
NXT with
Right.
Dusty. So it's like with this new era, I think Triple H will be perfect for this, and I think it's gonna be great. Like I said, it's the first year of it, so we're gonna be here for the long haul. Hopefully, like I said, nothing else bad happens. I pray to God nothing else bad happens
Yeah,
because
that's
the Vince McMahon allegations was bad enough as it is.
wild.
It was very wild. We didn't need
Wild.
that. But yeah, let's get on to some more. Let's get on to the backlash now. We want to talk about the matches on the card. I think these matches right now are the matches that's gonna be on the card. Like I think
Okay.
the card is done because I don't think they're gonna add any more. Because we have the women's tag team title match between the Kabuki Warriors and Jade and Bianca Belair. Then
Hmm.
we have the tag team match of the Bloodline, Tamatanga and Solo versus Randy Orton and KO.
Right.
Then we have the World Heavyweight Championship match between Damian Priest and Jey Uso. And then we have the Triple Threat Women's Championship match between Bailey when she defends her title against Tiffany Stratton and Naomi, which should be a good match.
Mhm.
And then we got the world. Then we got the WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. It's cool to call it the WWE Championship again instead of Universal
Yeah.
because it's like we're going back to the old days of like we're going to call these championships what they're supposed to be called. So let's give our picks and like what's going to happen with these matches. Let's start off with the women's tag team title match.
Hmm.
We know who's going to win, but let's just talk about it. My pick for that match is Jade and Bianca Belair easily.
Yeah. We're gonna give it up for the female Avengers. Uh, Definitely Storm and I guess we could call her Black Widow just for the hell of it. Um,
if anything, I give her. If anything, with that whip, I give her Catwoman because that hair whip is crazy.
yeah. All right, we're gonna go with that. So, Storm and Catwoman are definitely going to win those championships. Now, I I feel like they're gonna put the titles on. Well, mostly Jade, but I think it's too soon for Jade to have a championship. Uh, I mean, good choice, but I think they're pulling the trigger too soon. Now, grant the fact that she just came over to WWE from AEW, and she was what the longest reigning TBS champion or something like that.
Yeah,
Um, Grant all of that, I think when it comes to jumping ship to the WWE, not a lot of people get these opportunities in the first 6 months, yet alone the first month and a half, with the exception of Sheamus, and that whole title situation. But I think Jade Cargill will be a good uh, tag team champ until they decide to really, really let her um, be more creative on a solo tip. And eventually, we're going to get Jade versus Bianca or Jade versus Rhea, all these other things. I'm just a little uh I'm a little bit more patient to see what she does. But if she does win the tag team championships, why not?
exactly. It's like I said, I got them winning. Granted, I love Oscar and Kyrie Sane,
Hmm.
but like I said, I think them putting the straps on Bianca Belair and Jade is going to be good for them. Especially
Right.
like I said, Jade is basically following Bianca because Jade is still
Hmm.
green.
Yeah.
Like she's still green in the ring, so it's like it gives her an opportunity to shine with somebody like that. Also, it gives her an opportunity to build a feud too between them two.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, but that's an easy match for me to pick. The next match we got is the tag team match between the Bloodline and the KO and Randy Orton. That
Mm.
should be a great match. The way it's going at the pace right now, I think the Bloodline should win this match due to the
Okay.
fact that Tama Tonga is now in WWE, which should have been happening, but that's another story we'll get into.
Hmm.
But I think with him being with Solo, who's now taking a role upon himself to be the tribal chief, quote unquote,
Right.
and basically he called Tama Tonga his MFT. What MFT really mean is my family tree.
Right.
Basically, that's what it means. Or that's something else. I don't know. But with
Hmm.
them having that tag team match, they have to win this match because it gives them like it makes them a powerhouse again. Because like I said, with Roman being gone, you got Jimmy on the shelf now with a legit injury, and then you got Jay on Raw. Jay's doing his own thing, so it's like they need to have their own like situation now.
Right.
Especially with Paul Heyman. Also, you got Jacob Fatu 2 debuting soon as well, so they can have this win for real. Who you gonna pick?
Yeah. Um, I honestly, I think I'm gonna go in the opposite route and say
Hmm.
that Randy and KO is gonna take it,
Okay.
and I'm interested to see if this is a test for Solo to really be the person that's next in line for the tribal chief position.
Right.
If he fails, who who knows? And even though it may be too soon for it, but if Solo fails at Backlash, what is Roman gonna say? You know, what is the rest of the bloodliners gonna say for that matter? Like I said, even though it's too soon for Roman to return, but it'll be interesting to see the change in dynamic to see if this was a test for Solo to really be the tribal chief, or is Solo becoming the person to grab the reins regardless of how Roman Reigns is ranked? Because that whole like again that whole family tree, that tribal chief thing is a real thing in that family, which is
Yeah, it
beyond
is.
crazy. And yeah, like I said, I just want to see what would happen if Solo was to fail at Backlash. So I'm gonna pick Roman and Reigns. Roman and Reigns. Wow, I'm gonna pick Randy and KO at Backlash.
Yeah, you brought up that family tree with the bloodline. What's funny is each of them had a title. Well, not all of
Hmm.
them. Like for
Right.
instance, The Rock has High Chief under his.
Hmm. Hmm.
Roman has Tribal Chief under his.
Yep.
And it's like their whole bloodline alone is so big, but it's like, man. But yeah, I mean I can see where you're coming from with KO and Randy win, but like I said,
Yeah.
the bloodline need this win because like I said, with the new debuting of Tama Tonga being WWE with Solo,
Hmm.
they need it. Like I said, KO and Randy don't need the win.
Hmm.
They're just there right now just to be where they at right now.
Right.
And like I said, Tama Tonga, the character they having him becoming now is perfect. He's a savage, so it's like they're working very perfectly with this. I love to see where we're going to go though. All right, so that's your so you going with KO and Randy. I'm going with
Yep.
the Bloodline. So okay, next match we got is Damian Priest versus Jay Uso World Championship match.
Mm.
Um, as it stands right now, Damian Priest is now the transitional champion.
Yep.
I think Jay he'll be ready soon. But right now they need somebody to go against Damian whose credibility is great. And Jay has had an awesome run so far as a solo wrestler.
Hmm.
Granted, we know his match with Jimmy was lackluster due to timing.
Right.
Because if they would have had more time and more story towards it, it would have been a great match. But I think
Hmm.
due to timing, it was lackluster. It could have been better, but it is what it is. But
Oh
but
yeah.
with Jay being like the top face on Raw, he fits with Damian being the heel. Now Damian has been showing a lot of face stuff lately in his character,
Hmm.
so it's like where do we go from here? But I got Damian winning because, like I said, he's not a transitional champion.
Yeah.
And Jay, he's going to get his time, but right now it's Damian's time.
I agree with that. And um, the thing with me is, I think Damien has the opportunity to really showcase what we all know that he's capable of doing, and that's being a leader.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to have this World Heavyweight Championship now is like we even called it at Mania, like he was going to cash in at that specific event. We just didn't know how he was going to do it. Um, so for Damien, I think it's too soon for him to lose it. At the same time, I really want to see Jay get his hard work pay off. So I'm a take the gamble and I'm gonna pick Jay Uso.
Okay. I mean, granted, I mean, there's no like right or wrong answers here as to who we want to
Hmm.
pick.
Hmm.
I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see Jay win it too. I would love to see that. But
Right.
I think, but like I said, with Damien having that belt, then hearing the story of how he was like outside of wrestling, like the man was homeless,
Yeah.
and it was a lot. Like I said, he's not gonna be a traditional champion. And plus, like I said, it's giving a build to where like him and Finn possibly going against each other
Yeah.
because they've been giving like Damien a lot of like face stuff. It was like
Hmm.
it's like you see like face tendencies.
Yeah.
And okay, so the people who are watching, when we say face and heel, face is being good guy, heel is being a bad guy. That's what we mean by it.
Yep.
So that's what we mean by face and heel.
Yep.
So it's but with Damien with this match, like I said, he should win it. It's gonna be a good match overall.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, I think Damien gonna win the match.
Yeah.
All right, so the next match we're gonna talk about is the triple threat match between Bailey, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton.
Hmm.
Bailey should win this.
Absolutely.
She should
Absolutely.
win this. Granted, I would love to see Naomi win it. Hell, I would love to see Tiffany Stratton win it. Tiffany Stratton for her character to be a Barbie type character, like a preppy, person that get money and everything.
Hmm.
It fits her, and it's like she's so athletic too. If you see her work in NXT, she is great in the ring, and she's very athletic. That moonsault she does is
Perfect.
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 And the character she portrays like like a snobby character, so it's like it fits her.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think with Bailey having her moment at WrestleMania, her having that match against Io and everything was a great match.
Hmm.
Um, I think Bailey should win this match.
Hmm.
Now, granted, I know a lot of people are gonna like, what about Naomi? Naomi's gonna get her time again to shine again. She just came back to WWE.
Right.
She was shining outside WWE with as TNA Knockouts champion,
Hmm.
which was cool for her. So with her being in this match, triple threat match, like I said, it's giving Naomi some time to do what she got to do.
Hmm.
It's making her like it's basically showing that she is a top level superstar in this company and deserves the respect she got because she didn't get
Absolutely.
it before she left. So
Absolutely.
like I said, Tiffany Stratton will have her time. She's young. She has
Hmm.
plenty of time. Like it's matches that I want Tiffany to have is gonna be great. The one match I know she's gonna kill it with is her and Charlotte. Cause when Charlotte comes back, she's gonna be healthy, and her and Tiffany gonna kill it in the ring.
I believe it. I definitely believe that.
So that's my I pick. So I'm picking Bailey to retain the belt. Who are you going with?
All right. Um, I'm gonna also go with Bailey.
Okay.
Uh, for the mere fact that you know Bailey is like she's like the new female ring general in the ring.
That's actually not a bad perspective of that because she is like a general in the ring. Granted,
She
it depends
yeah,
on who she wrestles though. That too.
that too. And and like I said, when it comes to, I think Naomi is still going through that period, even though she's already well established.
hmm
We got to remember for her to get to this point, I think at the same time, now keep in mind, she walked out on the company what, 2 years ago?
It was in 20. It was after WrestleMania 32, so it had to be 2022 or 2021.
Yeah. So the whole walkout situation plays a factor into, why we seen her lose constantly. But at the
I
same
don't.
time,
That's the thing, though. I don't think that plays into that because remember the people that made her leave are not there no more.
that is also a fair point. Trust me, I get that 100%. Um,
Laurinaitis and Vince are the two guys that basically did that, and they
right.
had. I remember they had Michael Cole basically get his whole thing of
Hmm.
how they walked out on everybody. I'm like, you didn't. I
And,
know.
and
I know Michael Cole deep down didn't want to do that, but it's Vince. You can't say nothing.
yeah, and to a degree, I'm not saying that she had the choice, even though she did have the choice, but she had no alternative but to do what she did because her back was against the wall, and the creativity behind them just winning the tag team titles.
Right.
Yeah, so I really don't blame her for that, but that's neither here or there. But I'm picking Bailey. Like you said, Tiffany Stratton, she's young, she's hungry. Uh I think they have something special planned for Tiffany Stratton in the WWE Women's Championship. Same thing with Naomi.
Yeah.
I just think that once Bailey loses the championship, the entire the entire complexion of the women's division, as far as the SmackDown side, is going to be based around people like Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, um, Carmen Electra, all those young cats, even Zelina Vega. When is Zelina Vega going to get her championship shot? Like we need I don't care about we, me. I need Zelina Vega to be women's championship. Hunter, if you're watching this, you come across this, make Zelina great again. Even though that's controversial enough, but still make Zelina great again.
Also, you said Carmen Electra. I'm like, who the hell's Carmen Electra? You probably meant
I
Electra
did say
Lopez.
that. Thank you. You
Probably
see,
meant
you
Electra
knew.
Lopez. Yeah, I knew what you
My
meant,
God.
but I'm
My
like, Carmen Electra
God.
wrestling?
Whew.
I'm like, this is the same shit that did Spring Break.
See, this is Minds of Mayhem. My mind was on
Ah,
something else, but yeah.
right. I'm
Yeah.
like, Carmen Electra, when she start wrestling?
Yeah,
But
Electra Lopez, yeah.
yeah,
It,
Electra
all
Lopez.
those cats. Even when it comes down to the NXT, even with NXT, all those young cats that I guarantee you that the vets that are down there, like Shayna Baszler and Natalia, they are grooming them for spots like this when they come up to the main roster, and I think
I'm
that's
about to say,
phenomenal.
well,
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome.
but think about it too. A lot of wrestlers that was down there, like a Baron Corbin,
Hmm.
the Good Brothers, who else? At one point, it was Apollo Crews down there. They was all
Hmm.
like down there helping them out.
Hmm.
So I think if Bailey were to lose the belt to Tiffany or anything, everything resets again, which is
Yeah,
good
yeah,
because you can build more stories. Like
yeah,
right now, like right now, currently in WWE, we're in reset mode.
yeah.
Everybody has a story. Everybody's basically, new people going for the titles, which
Hmm.
is good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I can see where you're going with that though, with the Tiffany Stratton situation. But both of
yeah.
us, we both picked Bailey, so okay, we both got Bailey. All right, so now on to the main event, which will
Hmm.
which will be two Georgia boys going against each other, and Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Hmm.
Now, obviously, even though we know who's gonna win, but let's just play spoiler. Let's just say Cody does lose his belt,
Hmm.
which I think won't happen. But let's just say he does lose his belt.
Hmm.
What will be the story for Cody then? Because remember, this man just beat the longest reigning WWE Universal Champion in Roman Reigns, who had the belt for 1,316 days.
Mhm.
If he were to lose the belt to AJ, granted AJ is still elite wrestler. He's still in his league of his own.
Yep.
Even though he's saying he's gonna hang it up soon, he's gonna be hanging up soon, which is like his choice because it's like he's been wrestling for years.
Mhm.
He was a TNA guy before he became WWE guy. So it's like we know him from his TNA days and his Ring of Honor days.
Mhm.
But I like how what you think they would do? Because if Cody loses that belt, one, it's going the fans are gonna be pissed.
Mhm.
Two, the Roman fans are gonna have fun with this in
Oh
the
yeah,
expense
hella fun.
in the expense of Cody losing. Because when
Mhm.
I tell you I'm on X and everything, the Roman fans are still in distraught of him losing that belt.
Yeah.
Even
Mhm.
the reactions of people see him lose the belt is number one, it's hilarious, but at the same time, it serves you right because it's like y'all are the main ones that was like, why y'all complaining? Cody shouldn't have this. But as soon as Cody won the belt, we don't want this. I'm like, that's the beauty of it. Like we was talking about it. This era we're in, it gives fans of like how who you want, who you want to cheer
Mhm.
for, and it gives you that meaning.
Yep.
But let's get back
Yep.
to this match. Like I said, if we play spoiler, if like I said, if AJ were to win, it'll be like so much stuff going on. But to me,
Yeah.
I think Cody's going to win this match. It'll be his first defense. But the good thing about it is his first defense against somebody who's credible
Oh yeah.
in AJ
Absolutely.
Styles. It gives a
Absolutely.
story. It's like I said, it gives a story.
Mhm.
And I think, like I said, with everybody in this draft now, you can get new people to fight. Cause I think AJ is still going to be in the feud with LA Knight possibly.
Yeah.
Cause if LA Knight would win that match, it'll be a good match between him and Cody as well. But LA Knight
Oh.
is so over. I think my thing is I need LA Knight to get the US belt. I would love for him to have that belt.
Mhm.
Because like I said, LA Knight alone, him being over between the 2023 year, he has been arguably the best star, like up and coming star, even though he's like in his 40s. But he's
Mhm.
been like the best thing going, one of the best things going to WWE. Him being the
Mhm.
face of the Slim Jim and everything is perfect for him. But let's
Yeah.
get back to this match. Let's get back to this match. We keep getting sidetracked a little bit. So like I said, I got Cody winning this match. It should be a great match. Cody should win, not easily, but it should be a great match. We should have, people talking about it for a little bit. Who
Mhm.
knows? Like it might get a rematch possibly with this. Who knows? Who you got
That
winning?
too. I'm gonna also go with Cody, and to me, like you were saying, if Cody was to lose against AJ, I think it's gonna be a good "I told you so" for Roman,
Hmm.
and everything that that was built up before WrestleMania is gonna come back on. Is going to come back on Cody, and then on top of that, you got to think him finishing the story.
Right.
And to be honest with you, theoretically, I don't think him winning that Mania was technically finishing the story. I think it was just him adding on to the original story at hand. Now, again, if he was to lose, could that be his story being finished? Uh could that be a whole thing of Roman's fans saying I told you so, or Roman himself saying I told you so? But if AJ was the win, it'll be kind of awkward. And the reason why I say that is because AJ being champion for like the third time, I think this will be if he was the win.
Hmm. Yeah.
It would be like, okay, AJ wins, what's next? Or it's like, why AJ now? And it'll be like I said, it would be kind of awkward for AJ to have the championship right now. Not saying that he doesn't deserve it, but I don't think I think AJ Styles is too established at this moment. I don't think he really needs a championship. AJ Styles is AJ Styles based off name alone.
Yeah, you
So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
yeah, so I mean, and plus Cody Rhodes, I like I said with Cody being champion now, I want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
I really want to see where this goes. So I got Cody winning.
Okay then. So like I just said, that's our predictions for that show. That's that'll probably be the final card. Now, if it's another match, we probably miss. Sorry,
Hmm.
it is what it is.
It is what it
So,
is.
so we were going to talk about our Mount Rushmores, but it's one more topic I want to talk about. I think we can talk about this. Is involving the women's world heavyweight championship.
Hmm.
So the question and ponder, it's been talked about for the entire week since Monday. Did Becky deserve to win the title?
Hmm.
My answer, yes. Reason why? At the time, they need somebody they can trust with that title reign. Due to the fact that Rhea is injured, we need somebody that's established to hold that belt and give it some, some more like noise.
Hmm.
Granted, I hate to say it, but Becky will be in the transitional champion thing because like because really she wasn't supposed to have this belt. She was probably
Right.
going to take some time off, possibly, but it was reported that she was, but she didn't. But it's like, man, Becky having a belt, I don't mind her being a champion. I really don't,
Hmm.
because it helps build other people up to take that belt from her, like a
Hmm.
Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is the reason why that Rhea Ripley is out. Liv
Hmm.
Morgan is doing. She's like you said. She's doing her revenge tour.
Right.
Everything that was taken away from her, she's gonna get her revenge on. And
Hmm.
if you saw Raw, you've seen her with Dominic.
Yep.
That's a story right there. Is gonna take right there. Like something gonna be crazy this summer.
Hmm.
Cause Rhea's gonna be out for a little bit. I don't know how long she's gonna be out, but she's gonna
Yep.
be out for a while.
Right.
And it's gonna be her versus Liv in the first match, I'm sure. At
Hmm.
that time, Liv should be world champion. So to me, like I said, they trust Becky with this belt. Becky's
Right.
going, and people was like, "Oh, Becky's becoming Hogan. She's booking herself over." I'm like, Becky didn't put over so much talent. She put over Lyra Valkyria in NXT. She has put
Hmm.
over Nia Jax a few times. She has
Absolutely.
put she has put over a lot of people.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm like, y'all can't sit here and be like she hasn't put anybody over. Now, granted, of course, we want people to have a moment and everything, like live and stuff. But like I
Hmm.
said, with Becky winning this belt, like I said, they trust her. They know what they're getting. They know she's gonna make that title mean more. It's
Hmm.
not gonna be they're gonna give it to somebody and be like, okay, now what?
Right.
Cause you wanna let Liv win that match. Granted, I mean, like I said, it's her revenge tour. If Liv would win that match, it would have been so like I don't know. It would have been like not there because like we want to keep building up Liv to be this heel, which she is now.
Hmm.
So it makes sense for her to lose this match, get her revenge on Becky, and then take the belt from Becky.
Hmm.
But that's my opinion. How you feel about it?
I'm going to go ahead and say she didn't need it. And it's for obvious reasons.
Okay, whatever the reasons.
The reasons being that, for one, Becky, I'm looking at it from a fan's perspective. I'm looking at it
Okay.
as Becky has done enough.
Mhm.
She's done enough. She doesn't really need the championship. And this is also goes back to the whole AJ Styles situation. You really don't need the championship at this very moment. Now, as far as what you're saying is they need somebody well established. That's all well and good. I get that 100%. But also we have a whole opportunity to give the championship
Mhm.
to somebody who is a fresh face, who is really not, I guess you could say is not well established, but if we gave the championship to, I'm trying to think who's really on the Raw roster right now as far as the women is concerned.
As a women
Uh,
concerned, you have a Liv Morgan. At
hmm
the time before she got drafted, you had Nia Jax. You
right,
had um you got Ivy Nile, you got Indy
right,
Hartwell,
uh,
Candice LeRae, Shayna
uh,
Baszler, um what's the girl name? What's Shayna Baszler name?
oh, Zoe Stark.
Zoe Starks. You
Hmm
got Maxine Dupree. Maxine Dupree's still green, so I wouldn't put her
Yeah,
in there, but
yeah, yeah,
she's on there.
yeah.
You got Kaden Chance and
hmm
Katana and all that stuff, all that. So it's a
hmm
roster, but like I said, not only people that can be like big names, like I said, is only Liv and Nia. But Nia's now on SmackDown, so the only option probably been Liv, but Liv wasn't built up yet. And like I said,
Yeah, and
things with Liv is Liv had a title run. It
hmm
got diminished when they gave it to Ronda.
yeah, yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
it's like you have to build Liv up to be that heel that everybody hates. And her beating Becky is going to be a big deal because it's like everyone loves Becky. Whether
hmm
she's heel or face, you love her. And it's like you beating Becky is a big deal. And you taking the belt off of her? That's a huge deal.
It is, and thinking about it is like that. Those are fair points. It's just I don't I'm tired of seeing Becky being that go-to person when we have a bunch of fresh faces on the female Raw roster. Now,
Hmm.
to your point, Liv is not really built up to be world champion yet. Grant that.
Exactly.
If we take another look at, you know, Shayna Baszler, if Shayna Baszler was to be showcased in a way where she was the ultimate wild card to win that championship, I would have been okay with life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
Baszler should have been had a world championship title at one point because
absolutely,
NXT she was a badass.
absolutely. So, like I said, did Becky need it? No. Was it a good business decision? Obviously, because she's the like you said, she's the more well established
Hmm.
female talent on that roster. And seeing the trajectory of the draft and Nia Jax going over to SmackDown, that was a huge loss to the Raw roster because I think Raw needs Nia Jax more than SmackDown. SmackDown already has a star-studded female roster.
Well, technically, as it stands right now, everybody's up for the draft. So it's like
Hmm
with Nia going to SmackDown, something new for her, which is good because her on Raw, like I said, it was okay. But like what I think they're doing with Raw is they're going to
hmm
have Raw be that show where we're gonna have to build some of these women up because she was on Raw with all them. She will
hmm
basically demolish everybody on that roster.
She would, yeah, she would, she would.
So it's like I said, for her to have that moment, Becky, I'm talking about, for Becky had that moment, like I said, it goes like the same with Chris Jericho.
Okay.
When AEW started, it was Chris Jericho versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship.
hmm
Everybody wanted Hangman to win. But here's
hmm
the issue. Hangman wasn't like known yet. Nobody really
Right,
know who Hangman was. Unless you
right.
saw the indie circuit. But they're going on national TV, so the right person to put the belt on was Jericho.
True. That is
And
true.
Jericho had that belt, and he made that belt more prestigious. Once he lost to John Moxley, like I
Hmm
said, Jericho became an instant legend in AEW. So it's like he was okay. Like I said, now this thing with Becky Lynch, like I said, it's a transitional thing.
hmm
She's not gonna be changing for a long period of time. Like I said, they're going to build up Liv. They're gonna have to build her up.
hmm
Cause like I said, sooner or later, Rhea's gonna come back, and she's gonna face Liv again.
Yeah.
So it's like it's only right to put the belt on Liv, and it's already shown that when Rhea comes back, she's gonna be a face.
Yeah.
Shar got the pop of the thing with her being mommy and everything,
Right.
so it makes sense. But yeah, but I can see where you're coming from, like with Becky. But at the same time, it's like it always got to go to somebody established to make that belt mean something again.
Hmm.
Because when Rhea had it, it meant something, yes. Because she
Yeah.
was unbeatable. She had that belt for a year.
Right.
So it's like her being unbeatable and undefeated, undefeated basically. So it's like it
Hmm.
makes sense for her to have that belt and do what she do. Her getting injured was, you know, it was like crazy. But
Hmm.
we gotta move on and keep moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our 2 cents on the Beck situation. I know a lot of fans was like, we hate her. She's the next Hogan. Like, come on, man. It's to a point where it's like you gotta see how they look at the business side. As a fan, of course, we want this person to win. But
Right.
as a business, but you gotta look from behind the scenes a little bit. You want to see how they want to look at a superstar, see how they're going to build it up.
Hmm.
All right, so we got one more topic, and then we're gonna head out of here. We're gonna have to get out of here because I got work tomorrow.
Yeah. Life, people. Life.
Yeah. So me and my guy here, we're gonna give our own Mount Rushmores of wrestling.
Hmm.
You can start off first if you like.
All right. Now, of course, folks, when we're talking about Mount Rushmores, we're talking about people who has the complete total package as far as who we think is the best of the best. Um, I would say my top, well, my Mount Rushmore is a wee bit controversial, and I'm gonna go, of course, Hollywood Hogan and not Hulk Hogan.
Ooh,
Um, I'm gonna go Hollywood Hogan. I'm gonna go, uh, of course, The Rock. Um, to throw a curveball, I'm going to put I'm gonna put Edge in the Mount Rushmore.
okay, okay.
I'm gonna throw a curveball on that one, and for the fourth spot, of course, I'm gonna go with Undertaker for sure.
Hmm.
So those are my Mount Rushmores
Yeah, that's
of,
very different. Very different. And I
yeah,
mean, that's your
and
not much more, but yeah, but it's very different.
yeah, and it gives a whole new conversation because a lot of people say Hulk Hogan. Of course, Hulk Hogan is on the Mount Rushmore, but when we look at the golden era versus his WCW run, I was more entertained by the WCW run and him joining NWO and all of
Also, he wasn't born yet.
that. That too. And to be honest with you, like the Hollywood Hogan gave a whole new meaning of professional wrestling.
Okay.
And then when I put Edge on there, Edge is by far the most underrated yet recognizable champion that there is. This man literally, folks, when I say literally, he won every single championship in both in both attitude, ruthless aggression, and post ruthless aggression.
Hmm.
So
That rivalry between him and Cena was big, so yeah, it helped him out.
very, very huge. And I know a lot of people who say, well, you ain't put Cena up there. Okay, now my guy knows I'm not a John Cena fan.
You didn't
And I
like the
didn't
character. He wasn't a
yeah,
fan of the character.
I
But as
was a
a
fan of the
competitor in
character.
the but as a competitor in the ring, you gotta respect it with him,
Oh
which
yeah,
he didn't.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
the reason why I didn't put John Cena up there was because John Cena was the the happy accident that happened.
Hmm.
and he definitely, he paid his dues as he went along. I'm not knocking anything that he did as far as Make a Wish and all his contributions to the business. It's just he was the modern day Hogan that was misguided.
Okay.
So like I said, to all of his accomplishments, all of that other stuff, I don't have an ignorant eye to it. It's just that for me personally, I can't put him in that Mount Rushmore because it was he's the stereotypical wrestler.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and all the guys that I named gave something different to the business.
Hmm.
John Cena was a babyface since what, 2005,
Five. No, four. Four.
4, and he's been force fed ever since. And so, would I have liked to see John Cena turn heel? Yes.
I think everybody would like
Bob,
to see that.
yeah, and especially with the Firefly Funhouse, that whole NWO Cena, which was hilarious. Uh, Even with that, it didn't change my point of view on the whole thing of him being on that Mount Rushmore.
Hmm. Okay. I mean, that Mount Rushmore you got. You said Edge, Taker, Hollywood Hogan, and The Rock.
Hmm.
Which is we already know The Rock is your boy. That's self-explanatory.
Yeah,
The one that shocked me was the Hollywood Hogan one. Because you said Hollywood Hogan. Granted, Hulk Hogan would have been a great choice, but like I said, we weren't born yet during that era. We
right.
was born in the era when he was a heel.
Hmm.
All right, so my top four wrestlers in the Mount Rushmore. Number four, I got Sting.
Mm, yeah,
Sting alone, like I said, Sting's
yeah.
character alone is legendary as it is. For
Hmm.
him to go from Surfer Sting with the blind buzz cut
Hmm.
to Crow Sting was a huge thing for me as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
And that run he had with Hogan to Starcade '97. Granted, we found out the reasoning of the Starcade '97 situation because he was supposed to go over clean, but Hogan pulled his booking card and said Sting wasn't ready. But when, all honesty, Sting was ready. It didn't
He
make
was been ready.
it didn't make sense at all for Hogan to do that at the time.
Yeah,
My number three, I'm gonna put The Rock.
hmm
Reason why? Because The Rock was everything to us as a kid.
absolutely.
As a kid, you wanted to do everything The Rock did with the sideburns and everything. The open knife sideburns he had. It was like
Yeah.
he was in our eyes. He was, even though he is half black and half Samoan, but
Hmm.
in our eyes, he was like looked like us.
Yeah,
That's why I was so much of a Rock fan.
yeah.
Okay, then of course, okay, now my number two guy. I'm gonna do a little curve with you in this one. My number two guy, Ric Flair.
Okay.
Reason why, cause I watched a lot of Ric Flair's promos, even though I wasn't born yet. But I
Hmm.
got to see him wrestle in his late times where he's well, he was still wrestling until like '08. But it's like his time, his promos, everything, it's so legendary.
Hmm.
It's like, man, it's like what a time to look at a wrestler that had so much charisma, so much like pizzazz. Because it was like, man, the time him in NWA with Dusty Rhodes, we were talking about that.
Hmm.
Him and Dusty was like yin and yang. It was like you couldn't deny it. It was like the promos. Of course, the one promo we all quote, the Slick Rick promo.
Hmm.
Every sports does that promo sometimes too in their huddle ups or
Yeah.
their victory speech.
Hmm.
But yeah, Ric Flair is my number two. My number one, arguably the guy who made you want to beat your boss up. The
Mm,
guy, the guy who basically said "f you" a lot, the guy that made this popular to this day, Stone Cold Steve Austin is my number one guy on my list. Reason
okay.
why? Because like I said, he made it fun to watch wrestling. Now, granted, when he first started out in WWE, he was known as the Ringmaster.
Hmm.
Luckily, like I said, Vince gave him a shot to do his own character. We got Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
That now he's not the one that really started the Attitude Era, but like his match against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14 was the launching pad for the Attitude Era with him being the champion.
Okay.
Plus, with Mike Tyson being involved as well too, it was such a big deal at that time in '98.
Okay.
It's and mind you, Stone Cold has had feuds with like The Rock, Triple H, Taker, Shawn Michaels,
Hmm.
Mankind, all three do loves Mankind, all that stuff. He had
Yeah.
rivalries with everybody. Kane.
Yeah.
It's like if you can look at the '90s, the late '90s, who's the first person of wrestling they would say? Stone
Stone
Cold.
Cold. Yeah.
He was on magazines. He was the guy. The Austin 316 shirt is still the most popular shirt to buy. I've
Yeah.
been trying to get one for myself, but I can never get one because it's always sold out.
Yeah. That is true. That is true.
And also, and the funny thing is, I was watching Stone Cold on a sneaker show called Sneaker Shopping. This man is cool as hell. Number one, he wasn't a sneaker head, but he brought some good sneakers on the show. He brought what, three
Yeah.
pairs of Jordans. He brought three pairs of Jordans and a pair of Kobe's. It's like Austin was always the coolest dude. And also, I tried this beer. His beer is not bad.
I think I did try that too. I think. Yeah.
The IPA, yeah, the IPA is
Yeah.
not that bad for his beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my top four. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna come to a close of this episode. This is our very first episode of this podcast. We will be coming to you on Sundays, every Sunday at 7 o'clock. That's the time we're gonna push for at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Now if we have any updates, we'll let you know on our social medias. If
Hmm.
anything, I'll probably make a page for this podcast on social media. But for right now, look for the updates on our own social medias. Mine's at the bottom right here at fat double underscore hawk 54. He will let when we close out, he'll give us information. But yeah, as we close out, next week we're going to get into some other topics in wrestling. One of the topics that we didn't get to tonight, I think we were talking about AEW's new champion, Swerve Strickland,
Yup.
who deserves the title. The thing is, though, on social media, we'll talk about it next week because it's like a lot of stuff that people are upset at him for. It's a song he did recently, and then situation where he gave his opinion on the black top 500 wrestlers in black wrestling.
Okay.
Trust me, we'll get to it next week. But yeah, this is our first episode, and it was a good episode for us to start. Like I said, I now have a co-host where I can go back and forth with. This has been my friend since third grade, so we always talk about wrestling, talk about stuff all the time. So it's cool to have a person that you can talk about wrestling with. But
Yeah.
give your information on where you can find you at, bro.
All right, folks. So you can find me at Nova underscore chapter 31. If you want to catch up with me on the wrestling aspect of it, ASW Philly underscore Exodus Jones on Instagram. Also ASW Philly on YouTube. We do have a show coming up, folks. Possibly this coming Saturday. If not, we will come to you live on Sunday before we do this podcast. So just be on the lookout uh, on my social media. I will give y'all guys the updates on what we're doing as far as the show is concerned. But until then, just shut up, let us do our job, and we'll get to y'all with any
Hmm.
updates.
Okay. Also, like I said, you can follow me on at fat double underscore hawk 54. on IG. Like I said, I'll be giving updates of when the podcast will be done if we have any situations where we're both busy or if we can't do the show that night.
Hmm.
Also, like I said, if you want to like come on the show with us, just shoot me. Like I said, just hit me up on my Instagram. If you want to talk wrestling with us or talk about what's going on in wrestling back in the day, whatever, we just have a conversation. I'm like I said, I'm open to anybody coming on the show. Like I said,
Yeah.
I know he'll probably have some of his wrestlers, like some of his friends from the company he's in, come on the
Hmm.
show possibly, maybe. Like we'll just shoot a link to them. They can come on the show. We'll just have a conversation, talk. Like I said, soon. I said this year we're going to stream an episode while we're watching a pay per view. Well, PLE. We'll be watching the
There you go.
PLE and we'll stream it.
Yeah, and we
It'll
want we
it'll pro-
we want
Go
Paul
ahead.
Heyman on the show too. We want Paul Heyman on the show. Yeah. Shout out to you,
Yeah,
Paul.
yeah, and I want $1 million. But Paul, imagine Paul Heyman coming on the show. Granted, if we become big with this show, granted, I would love to have any wrestlers on this show
Oh man,
from any
that's
company. I would love to
whoo.
have an interview with any of the wrestlers.
I know who I want
But
on this show.
who?
Well, honestly, if this man is still around, even though he's the last one left, put him on the show.
Come on, Cass.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, think about it. The clique entirely. You got Kev, you got X Pac, you got Sean, you got Triple H. Just them four.
Well, I mean, listen, if Triple H is down for a spot, cool. You
Like
know?
I said, we that's baby steps for us to get to that level. We'll get
Yeah.
there though.
We gotta
But
save
all
the
right,
best. If we listen, if we ever go out of business, the final boss is our last guest. Okay, we gotta put that out there.
that man is a movie. That man has hella movies to do. And no,
So
he's
do I.
not your dad. Just because you say you his lost son does not mean he's gonna like come find you. Like now, he'll probably play along with it probably, but other than that, he ain't gonna be like, "Oh, this is my son." Yeah, right.
It'd be funny if you did though. It'd be funny
Yeah,
if you
you ain't
did.
lying. All right, guys, we gonna sign off here. Like I said, I appreciate y'all tuning in for our first episode. You did good for our first episode, bro. So we'll
Yeah.
continue to do this. And like I said, check us out on Sundays at 7 p.m. Y'all have a good night. Stay tuned for the next episode next week. Have a good night, y'all.
All right, y'all.